Okay, so it's my birthday weekend and we're on our way to Cambridge where we're staying. We have tickets to Stratford to see Little Shop of Horrors on Sunday. This is Friday. But right now we're going to hit over the weekend or over the time we're there, maybe about 8 different quilt stores. And the first one we're headed towards is in a place called Fergus, which is north of Guelph. So it's about an hour and a half away from here. And Fergus is just a little tiny town. We've been there before, but there is a quilt shop there, and I think it's called, what's in my notes here? It is called Undercover Quilts and More. So that's going to be our first stop to see what that's like. And I'm planning on taking little video clips of each place we go to. And of course,
Highway
I've got
407
competition
west,
here.
then keep left.
That thing. That is if I feel comfortable enough doing a video in some of these places, and if they allow me to do video, and if I think to do video. Sometimes I have a tendency to forget to do video when I'm in a quilting store, so we'll see.
Well, who is that?
So this is our first stop, Quilts and More in Fergus. And I have to be careful, I can't do any video of anybody's quilts, so
We can't do pictures.
I know. Well, she told me, she talked to me about that, but said,
Okay,
like, as
all
long as
right.
I didn't do any of the quilts, I can do the
Okay,
bolts and that.
good.
Yeah. So I will
Okay,
not make
good.
sure I get, I know you got
Good.
copyright.
Yeah, okay, good. Notice the panic in my voice.
Yes, yeah. No problem.
Okay, thank you.
I will definitely honor your wishes. So you can see they've got quite a bit of fabric.
Here, look
here.
at this panel here. Take a panel.
That's kind of cool.
Sort of paint.
It's actually, it looks like Monet.
Yeah.
So I couldn't take a lot of footage in that store because they had a lot of quilts on display and because of copyright, but I did buy a lot of the Stonehenge solstice fabric there. A little bit more expensive than what I'm used to paying for fabric, but I have to expect that because I don't think anybody has as good a price as Ultimate Sewing. It was about $18 a meter, and I got quite a few for this one pattern that I want to do. I'll show you the pattern. It's here. It's called the Solstice Star. It uses the Northcott solstice fabric. It uses quite a bit of it, actually, and I'm hoping this doesn't have Y seams, but if it does, I have to learn them. But anyways, you know, you're seeing downtown lovely little Fergus, and it's a cute little town, just north of Guelph. For those of you that are from Ontario, you'll probably know where I'm talking about. So now we're heading our way over to our next stop, our second quilt store, which is called, it's in a town called Elmira, which according to the GPS is about 27 minutes away. And what is the name of it? I've got it here. Quilter's 9 Patch. So we'll see what we see when we get there. Okay, so we're outside of our next stop, Quilter's 9 Patch. Looks like it's inside. This must be some sort of little mall or something inside. So we're gonna go in and check it out. So here we're inside. It's like a little mercantile mall here, and this is the quilt shop right here. This is the inside of the store. Okay, so we just came out of the Quilter's 9 Patch, and they didn't have any of the Stonehenge, the Solstice series of fabric, and I got a distinct feeling there might have been a story behind that, because the attitude I got was, no, we don't carry that. So it was sort of like, all right, everybody else does, they're special, they don't. Might have to do with the theme of their store, because their store looked like they kind of went in for a lot of the more vintage, older looking type of fabrics. There was a really
take
nice...
second exit to Highway 85.
I'm being interrupted by the stupid box again. Anyways, it looked like they leaned more towards the vintage fabrics. They had a nice kit for a log cabin quilt for a bed. I liked the colors in it. The kit was about $228. not
Take second exit
out
to
of the
Highway
way.
85.
You know, do I need you interrupting me? No, I don't.
Well, then you shouldn't have taken the video at this point.
Oh, fine. Well, it wouldn't matter where we are. He wants to tell us all the time where to go. I'll tell him where to go. Anyways, one thing we did find in that particular quilt store, though, maybe it's in
Continue 16
contrast
kilometers
with
at Highway
the
85.
other one, was that the other store, the first one we went to, they couldn't have been nicer and warm, you know, really friendly. In this store, it was the other. You could cut the ice with a pick in there. I don't know if it was because we were men, but, you know, as quilters, I have never really found that they have any problem with men.
They were like very business-like, but not very inviting, if you want to call
No.
it.
And I asked about a certain pattern that I had seen on the internet, and I knew it was by an American designer, and I knew where I could get it online, but I just thought I'd ask. Well, basically I got a whole song and dance about why this particular designer, she said, well, I've never seen any of her other designs. I've only seen the rooster. And I told her what website it was, and she went there, and then she had to give me this long diatribe as to why they didn't go to the big quilt shows and just stuff. All I wanted to know was simple. Do you have her? And all they needed to say was, no, I'm sorry, we don't carry her. I didn't need to have the whole business explanation behind, you know, small distribution, small amounts. So, yeah, it's a nice little store. It's got some nice fabrics in there if you're into vintage and the whole bit. But I wouldn't say go there for the customer service because they're pretty much on the cold side. So now we're moving on down towards the 401, the big highway, for those of you that don't come from our country. And we're going to Lynn Mills, which is basically crappy. Well, I've only been to one Lynn Mills before and I wasn't impressed, and that was before I was quilting. They do have a lot of fabric. I don't know what kind of quality it is. Just going out of curiosity to check it out again. I'm not expecting a lot there, and I don't expect to really buy anything there either. Unless I see something that really grabs my eye and it's not a bad price and it's not bad quality. We'll see. So apparently the Lynn's Mill store doesn't exist anymore, so we ended up at A&W for lunch anyways. Well, just having a teen burger with onion rings and a diet root beer. And I'm having a diet root beer and fries and a teen burger. And how was your burger?
Good.
How was your onion rings?
Oh, okay. I don't think I'd order them any.
No. How was your root beer?
Okay.
If it was July 20th, we could get a free root beer. So our next stop is Creative Sisters in Kitchener. And we're just about there. We're about 2 minutes away from it. So we were here last year, and I got a $19.30
turn right on Lancaster Street West.
credit because of something that they're running, and I meant to bring that coupon with me, and I forgot it at home. I don't know if they'll have it registered
Turn
in their
right on
system,
Lancaster Street
or
West.
whether it's still of any use or not after a year. Didn't say it expired on my bill, but we'll see. Worst case scenario, if you don't ask, you don't know. So I'll ask. Fabric. We were here last year and really liked it. No, we don't. We come up about once a year.
Yeah.
I want to come up and make sure I do all the stores.
Do you have the shop hop flyer though?
Yeah, we
Yes, we do actually have it. Yeah. This is a really nice. And Walter bought the kit for this one. That's the kit right there. It's a nice store. You got a classroom over to the one side in there. You have a long arms back there. They've got a good selection.
It's in the back. It's in the office.
Okay, so at Creative Sisters, we bought a bunch of stuff. Walter bought a kit, as I pointed out when I was taking video of the store inside. I did ask them about that coupon I had from last year, but unfortunately I needed to have that with me to get it. But now we've got, between the two of us, about $30 more in coupons from what we bought today, which we can use anytime. So I don't know, it might be worth, if we get bored tomorrow or something, going for a trip back there and picking up some fat quarters. We'll end up getting more coupons, but it'll be less if we keep within about 30 bucks in there. And they had quite a good selection of fat quarters too. So it might be worth the trip again, just to get $30 basically of free fabric. So what we're traveling through right now is usually considered Mennonite country, because a lot of the Mennonites live here, of course. Haven't come across a horse and a buggy yet, but every time that we have been in this area, you usually do see one or two out and about. And there's different orders of Mennonites. I went to University Teachers College with a Mennonite from this area, and he was a modern Mennonite, as meaning that they had electricity, they had a car.
Yeah, there's one there.
What?
Horse and
Oh,
buggy.
there you go, horse and buggy right there. They'll probably curse me because I think they don't like having their picture taken. The ones who drive the horse and buggy are usually the older order of Mennonites. And then there's sort of one, from what he told me many years ago, that's in between modern and the old order, which are called, I think, progressive. I could be wrong about that term, but they're kind of halfway in between. They dress in plain clothing, but they will have electricity. They may drive a car, but in that time, when he was telling me this, and that would have been, close to 40 years ago, he said they would paint their chrome bumpers on their car all black. They don't believe in doing anything that's garish or makes them stand out. They're very simple people, very hospitable people, and make beautiful quilts too. So if you're looking for a quilt, but you don't make a quilt, you may want to come to Mennonite country to buy a quilt. I have no idea how much they charge, but I don't think they come cheap. They might be Mennonites, but they certainly know the value of $1. Another buggy over there on the side. About to be hit by that truck. They move at quite a pace. Oh, and they have fresh goat milk and goat cheese. So whatever gets your goat.
Strawberries and peas and chicken.
Definitely farmer country, as you can see. Well, right now you can't, because now these new houses kind of a thing here. But it gives you a little look at small town Ontario as well. The sort of western Ontario. It's not the far west of Ontario. It's west of center. West from where we live.
We're on the other side of Toronto.
We're on the other side of Toronto, yes.
On the western side.
The western side. And look, we didn't get a nosebleed or anything. That's a joke. This is probably a little bit more representative of this end of Ontario than what I showed a few minutes ago. Here you can see the farms. They're not small farms. But then again, this is their livelihood, so I suppose they gotta make some money somehow, so you're not gonna make that off a tiny little farm. Past some cows and some horses there about before I got out the camera. Of course, I missed all of that, but I suppose if you've seen one cow, you've seen them all. Right? Yeah. You put lipstick on a pig, but you still got a pig. So we've arrived at EE's Clothing Creations. That was recommended by the Creative Sisters store, so we're going in to check it out. Another shot of the front of the store. And we're going to go in and see what we see.
It's my sister's store.
Oh, it's your sister's?
Yeah. I work for her on Friday.
Oh, okay. Well, you could have pretended.
I feel guilty, so
Oh.
I can't take all the credit.
No. Well, I suppose if you took credit for it, you'd have to take credit for any kind of problems too. So
Yeah, there you go.
maybe it's better that way. Okay, that was worth the trip to EE. What was it called? EE?
E&E.
E&E.
Yeah.
Cloth and Creations. It's a little Mennonite store, or it's run by a Mennonite anyways. It was actually a fairly large store, quite a good selection of fabrics, and the prices were the best we've seen anywhere. They averaged anywhere between $11.98 to about $13.98 for a meter. I'm on the search for the Solstice collection. I have a pattern I want to use it in, and of course it's also Northcott's 10th anniversary of that line. well, not of the Stonehenge line. They just came out with the Solstice, and everybody's having trouble getting it. And there's 2 fabrics I'm still missing for this one pattern that I've gotten, and that's one reason why I went to this place, because Creative Sister said that she thought they handled the Stonehenge Solstice collection, and they did, but they were just about out. Although I did get a fat quarter or a fat quarter bundle of a lot of that fabric, because I do love the design in it. And I bought a few other things, of course, while I was there, but the prices were really good. And she doesn't use a rotary cutter. She uses a pair of scissors with a groove cut in her cutting table, and she just runs the scissors up along that groove, and in a sense it has the same effect as a rotary cutter. And I noticed that last year we went to another Mennonite outlet in another place in around this area, and she did it the same way. So I guess scissors are not considered part of modern technology by the Mennonites, but rotary cutters are? Interesting. Okay, so we've arrived in Shakespeare, and we're at the Quilt place. It's a cute little house. As I said, we have been here before, a year ago, and to my memory, it was a pretty good little shop, so we'll go in. So we're out of luck here. I got one of the Stonehenge fabrics that I need. I've got one left, but our pursuit will go on. They were out of their Stonehenge pattern. Seems a lot of people can't keep those in stock. They're having a problem with the supply, but it's a nice store.
Yeah, the thing is if it's still available. Yeah, okay. Okay then, sorry. Bye-bye. Okay.
Oh, saw something.
Just
You always
have-
go for the really wild ones now,
Yeah, I
don't you?
know. Oh, look at that. Books.
Oh, that's cool. How much is that?
That's
That's a
0.75 a meter.
first
It's,
meter. Actually, I wouldn't mind getting a meter of that though. Yeah, very nice store. Okay, that was the quilt place, and didn't have a lot of luck getting the Stonehenge Solstice fabrics that I need for that one pattern, though I did get one more, so there's one left that's eluding me right
Turn
now.
left on West Huron Road.
And they were out of their Stonehenge Solstice Challenge piece. Everybody seems to be out of those, so I don't think I'm having a lot of luck collecting all of those, but that's okay. So we're off to Stratford now, which is where we're going on Sunday. This is Friday, to see Little Shop of Horrors, but we're about 12 minutes away from the store there called Ye Old Fabric Shop. So we're gonna check that one out. It's one we've never been to before, so we'll see what that's all about. And we have arrived at the Ye Old Fabric Shop here in Stratford. So not that impressive from the outside. Hopefully it's more impressive on the inside. So let's find out. Okay, so we did the Ye Old Fabric store, and actually it was pretty good. They had a sale on, you buy 4, you got the 5th fat quarter free, so I took advantage of that, and I took advantage of a lot of stuff, and I'm not going to tell you how much I spent in there, because I spent more than I intended to spend there, but hey, it's my birthday. I don't care. Of course, I've got so much fabric already, and we're not done. We're done for today. We're going now to where we're
In
staying.
250 meters, turn right on Ontario Street.
Which is in Cambridge, so we're about 42 minutes away from that, possibly a little longer because there's a lot of construction down this road, as we discovered. But
Turn right on Ontario Street.
I don't resent spending the money on this stuff because I will use it eventually. And if anything, it's really nice to feel. And the colors are pretty. But tomorrow's another day, and we still have a few more stores to hit. So we'll see what we will see. Now I'm becoming discriminatory though, because
Continue
now
42
it's going to be,
kilometers
do
on
I
Ontario
really,
Street.
really want that? So we're having dinner on Friday night at the Rabbit Fox, and it's an interesting looking place. as you can see. It's a pubby-like place. And I'm having a pizza, and Walter's having the schnitzel. So it's the next day, it's Saturday, and we're taking a little side trip to the Conestoga Mall, shopping mall. And you may wonder why. Is there a quilt store here? No, there is not. But someone forgot to bring extra underwear with him, not me, Walter. And so we are on the hunt to buy Walter some undies.
And go to the Apple store.
And go to the Apple store.
Probably just buy it over at the Bay.
Yeah. So this place we're not sure of because it's kind of listed more as a fabric store, but it did say it had boutiques and cottons. So I'm not expecting much out of this one though, because I have a feeling this is more garments, but we'll see. Yeah, so just as I suspected, this place is really not, it's garment fabrics. They had very little in quilting cottons.
They didn't look like they had much in garment fabric.
No, they didn't really look like they had much in garment fabrics either, but I kind of figured that, but I thought, what the hell, we're here, so might as well check it out. So now we'll head out to another store. So we are now in a little place called New Hamburg, and this is where Heart and Home Creations is located. This is one of the quilt shops on the shop hop list here in this area. We're going to check it out. Little shop before.
Oh, I've heard it's excellent. I've heard people say it's very good. A friend of mine decided to see it, she decided to see it at home. That would be good. Thank you.
So this is Quilting by Design. And tons of stuff. So we just came out of here, Quilting by Design, and you saw some of the video inside the store. A nice little shop, and it had some very unique fabrics in there too, things that I can probably do some art quilts with. So we've left New Hamburg, and now we're going to a little place called St. Mary's, which has 2 quilt shops in it, and hopefully, according to the lady in one of the quilting stores in New Hamburg, she says that at least one of them has the Solstice line by Northcott, which I'm still looking for that one last fabric for that pattern. But one of the other stores in there, of the 2, has a good selection, supposedly, of K-facet materials. And I love K-facet fabric. So we're on our way there to check this out. Okay, so we're in St. Mary's, and it looks like there's some festival going on up here. This is Kaleidoscope, and they have Stonehenge. At least I haven't done. We'll see. So I forgot to take a video of the outside of that last store we were in, and that store was called, I'm not sure how to say it, Heilig?
I don't know.
Something like that. But they had, as you could see, they mostly specialized in K-facet fabrics. They had lots to pick from in there, for sure, of his stuff. But that was about all they had in there. Okay, so I think we've hit every quilt store that we need to hit, and then some. And now we're having lunch lunch in St. Mary's at, what's this place called? Larry's Pub?
I can't remember.
Oh, it's something like that. Quaint little place. So let's see what Walter's looking it up. Of course, we're having
It's O'Leary's Pub.
O'Leary's Pub. Okay. Well, we're still in St. Mary's, but I just had to take a video of this because this is off this little bridge from the street, and I just thought this was very picturesque looking in here. And here's a little shot of downtown. And Walter's Inn. And the bridge from Walter's face. And we just had some lunch over there in the distance. Wind. Okay, so we are downtown Stratford, if you can hear me, because there is a bit of a breeze and it's probably coming across the microphone. But this is where we are on Sunday because we're going to see the Little Shop of Horrors in about an hour. I said horrors. Horrors. And here's looking up the main street. It's got lots of little gitchy shops, little restaurants, bars, that kind of thing. This is where we went yesterday. We were here and did the old fabric shop, which is not open on Sundays, but we've already been there. Spent enough, I'm sure.